KOGO News Time 642. Twitter says it's a glitch that's being fixed. President Trump says it's illegal and discriminatory. It's called shadow banning, and a number of prominent conservatives say they're victims. The president tweeted about it this morning, calling for an end to the practice at once. As for Twitter, it acknowledged the complaints and said it's making a change to its algorithms today. To find out more about shadow banning and what it is, KOGO's Cliff Albert talked with Dr. Stephen Andrus, an expert on social media who teaches at the Fowler College of Business at San Diego State.
So the term has been applied in the sense that your account is banned, but not really banned. So what I mean by that is you're not actually locked out of Twitter, but your tweets don't get to your target audience. Now, I got to point out, this isn't an official feature of Twitter. In fact, it is a term that is coined by the people that think that they're on the end of some sort of censorship. As we like to say in the tech industry, it's a bug, not a feature. It's a problem in their search algorithm that doesn't weigh the content high enough in the listing. Now, as some articles have pointed out, why does it seem that it happens more to Republican politicians than Democrats? Well, that's a very interesting thing that we should definitely dive into, because we certainly don't want it to be applied inappropriately like that. For that, we got to take a little bit of a step back and do a little bit of nerdy stuff. These search algorithms, they get fed into by something called machine learning. So if you're watching a movie, it's called artificial intelligence. If you're in the industry, we call it machine learning. And it takes millions and millions of data points, and it tries to make best guesses on what's going to make you happy, what's going to be the content that'll float to the top. And honestly, we're not very good at it right now, we as an entire industry. So right now, it's taking a whole bunch of inputs, and it might think, you know what, I'm guessing you don't want to see this Republican content. And it's guessing wrong, it turns out.
Now, the president's tweet and others who have supported what he said today are obviously making the point that you just made, that they're saying, look, this is somehow they're targeting conservatives. They're targeting specifically Republicans who support Trump. And this is why these things are not showing up. And you're saying that that's simply just not the case.
Correct. And one thing to point out that when I've heard this brought up, in class by some students, is we all have a very simplistic model of how we would build Twitter in our head. We have people post articles or post tweets into a database, and then we just spit them out chronologically. Well, the social media networks used to do that 6, 7, 8 years ago, but they realized that wasn't very interesting, and we wouldn't stay on the site long enough if we just watched things chronologically. So they started putting a lot of data science behind it, and they got their algorithms to try to guess what you would want to see and bubble those towards the top. To address the point of the president's tweet about why does this seem to fall on one side more than the other, if you look at the actual Twitter announcement about some more refined filtering that they're doing on the newsfeed, they say that they're adding additional behavioral signals into the machine learning kind of recipe. Everything is a experiment. Every minute of the day, Twitter's machine learning is experimenting what you're going to actually like. They mentioned that they've added some things such as if you repeatedly tweet and mention accounts that you don't also follow, that is a behavior that in the past they've seen attributed to fake accounts. It might be that Republicans happen to be doing that, and accidentally the machine learning algorithm is falsely triggering them. And that's a bug. That's something that they just got to fix, and they got to tweak along the way.
Well, as you were saying, the industry has to do a better job of this, because I would assume that if you're running Twitter or Facebook, you want your Republican users to stay on that site for as long as possible. So give them what they want, and vice versa.
Absolutely, yes. The point of social media is to give you what you want, so they don't want to alienate or censor anyone. Some of this is a reaction to, as an industry, Congress has said to social media, look, you do have occasionally, not politicians, but other groups spreading hate speech on there. You need to do a better job of policing that. Now, the social media companies would rather just take a back seat and say, look, we just give you the plumbing, you guys posted the tweets, we don't want to be involved. But Congress is saying, no, you know what, when it's truly bad stuff, we want you to intercede and rip that off of the newsfeed. The trouble is, how do you describe what's bad stuff? So that's where the machine learning model comes in, and it's getting stuff wrong. So it's actually kind of a catch-22 social media companies are in. They want to be as neutral as possible for shareholder value and for popularity, as you mentioned. But Congress is saying, hey, you need to take down hate speech. So now they're improving their models to try to guess at what hate speech would look like.
That's Dr. Stephen Andrus, who teaches at San Diego State.